What up, UFC T-Dot breakdowns? We're talking about UFC Fight Night. Dos Anjos versus Fayev. Hill versus Walker. There were crazy cancellations. There were like 5 replacement fights, I believe. I like replacement fights because the people don't get a chance to prepare, and generally it just becomes a fucking firefight. I'm gonna go ahead and break down this whole thing, start to finish. I watched all the fights, prelims until the main card. Uh, First and foremost, please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, share with your friends, all that good shit if you feel so. If not, oh well. So starting off the prelims, we had Mario Bautista versus Jay Perrin. This is a crazy fight. Both of these guys looked like they were gonna knock each other out. Neither one did. Mario Bautista just kind of As crazy as he did like a whole bunch of jumping knees, like a bunch of them. He landed some of them, but most of them he didn't land. He was throwing shoulder strikes. Like that dude Mario Batista was hitting him with every point that you could hit with. He was hitting him with it. There was a point in the fight where Perrin literally said to his corner, like, "I'm losing." It's like, ugh. Yeah, you're losing. Mario Batista won by decision. I feel like, it was a good fight. Just Bautista was just kind of better everywhere, it seemed like. Second fight of the night, we had Christian Rodriguez versus Jonathan Pierce. Pierce won by decision. Very early. First of all, why does he have a tattoo of like a do not enter sign, like a driving, like do not enter sign, like when you like to the on ramp of the freeway? I don't know what that means. It's over his heart. Yeah, there was a really, really, it's so crazy. Like these days, man, I see the deepest guillotines ever, and like people just don't tap and just get their head out. Like, has the guillotine become obsolete, or are these guys just not like everyone though? I don't know. Lately, I've been seeing a lot of people just relax and just pull their head out of the guillotine. Anyways, the Christian Rodriguez guy trains with both the Pettis brothers, and you can kind of tell like he's in the same in that same gym in Milwaukee. But you can kind of tell, man, because like every time he was down, because he was getting beat up, but every time he was down, he wasn't getting beat up. He was getting kind of manhandled, to be quite frank with you, and a little bit of beating up too. But he had some sneaky sub attempts. Like I said, that guillotine early. He had like an armbar attempt that he threw in there. That Christian Rodriguez, like he seems like he could be a good fighter, but Jonathan Pierce just had his number one by decision. Next up, we had Chad Ellinger versus Jesse Strader, and like, man, this Strader dude. I'm not trying to make fun of this guy, right? And I'm just being honest, man. But every time this guy threw combos that weren't straight punches, it looked like a cat playing with yarn. Like, that's how his combos was looking. Anyways, Ellinger just caught him, man. He caught him with this fucking with this check right hook. Strader was coming in. He caught him with this check right hook, put him out. Ellinger won by KO. And this guy, like, I don't know, he doesn't look like he should be winning any fights, in my opinion. But you know what? The dude's a warrior. He won. Next up, we had Diana Belbita versus Gloria DePaula. I feel like it was a very evenly yoked match. I don't really feel like either one of them got the better of either. But Gloria was very quick, and she was a little bit more precise, I would say. Belbita, she was doing war cries before she got rah! But Gloria DePaula won by decision. I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like Belbita won. But, I'm not a judge, so whatever. Next up, we had Chaz Skelly versus Mark Striegel. Striegel's a Filipino guy, and he's repping the Philippines, which is dope. I support that. My wife's Filipino and all that. But Chaz Skelly just won that fight, man. He landed this crazy knee. And after he landed the knee, he was still throwing punches down. And Keith Peterson, when he jumped in, got cracked. Keith Peterson got a chin. Don't sleep on Keith Peterson, because he got cracked breaking that fight up. Chaz Skelly with the win by KO. Next up, we had Jessica Rose Clark versus Stephanie Egger. Not Edgar. Egger. To be quite frank with you, I really love Jessica Rose Clark. I don't know why. I just like her. I think I'm physically attracted to her, number one. And then number two, I just like her, like, I don't know, man. She's tough and she's gritty. She's down to go. I just like her personality. I like her as a fighter, but unfortunately, Stephanie Egger really put it on her. She fucking judo threw her over and over again, caught her with the fucking armbar. Like, who do you think you are? Ronda Rousey. But yeah, Stephanie Egger by armbar, despite the fact that I love Jessica Rose Clark. She reminds me of Harley Quinn because her tattoos specifically. But yeah, I really like Jessica Rose Clark. I like her as a... Ooh. Camera shit, right? I always root for her, but unfortunately she lost. Next up we have Mowgli Benitez versus David Onama. So David Onama landed a 14-hit combo to put out Mowgli. And to be quite honest, if you've ever watched Mowgli Benitez fight, that's what it takes. It takes a 14-hit combo. But nah, man, when he finally like hit him, and he just was like ding 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 ding. Stop it. If Benitez's head would have been a bell, he played a fucking orchestra song before the ref jumped in the way. I mean, just David Onama really landed a lot of punches in a row at the end. I've been a little facetious with 14 hits, but I think realistically they counted 11 hits in a row. We had Abdul Razak Al Hassan versus Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin Buckley is known for that crazy spinning back kick while one foot was being held knockout that he had. He's had a few other big knockouts too. He's a knockout guy, Buckley. But so is Al Hassan. They're big scary dudes. What was funny was that Buckley had the Detroit survival defense training guy, the what's his name? Something Brown. Dale Brown, defense fighting, Detroit defense fighting. He had that dude in his corner, man. Like, what? But Buckley claimed it was because the UFC wasn't promoting this fight. So he brought that guy in to get some promotion going on. I mean, Buckley was being the better MMA fighter the entire fight, in my opinion. He was getting takedowns. He was striking better. He was managing distance better. He was the aggressor for most of the fight. At the very third round, or in the third round, though, Al Hassan really took over. Got him down the ground, was landing a good pound of ground. But there was one thing that really bothered me, and the ref said he warned him, but like there was a point. He had him down the ground. He got both of Buckley's arms out of the way, and he just went, ha! Just headbutted him from the mount. And the ref was just like, watch the headbutts. What the fuck? That shit was one of the most intentional headbutts I feel like I've ever seen in the UFC. He got both Buckley's arms down and just went, ah! Like God! I don't know. That shit seemed illegal as fuck to me, but what do I know? I'm not a ref. Ended up being a split decision for Joaquin Buckley. I don't feel like it should have been a split decision. I think it was very clearly 2-1. I don't even think it was close. Aside from the third round, which was clearly Al Hassan's, but round 1 and 2, in my opinion, all Buckley. I don't think that's a split decision. I think that's just a flat-out win for Buckley, but again, what do I know? Next up, we had Jim Miller versus Nicholas Mata, which is a crazy fight because Jim Miller's on his 51st fight. He started in 2005, and this is Nicholas Malata's fucking debut in the UFC. It's not fair. It's not fair for Malata. You put him in against the guy who's basically had the most fights, right? So Miller came out to Black Sabbath Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? And boy, did he seem like an Iron Man. Malata has some hands. And he was doing well at everything, but I think there was a quote from Paul Felder that when he thinks of Jim Miller, he thinks of gunpowder and homemade beer. And when he said homemade beer, Dominic Cruz joined in with him for that part. Excuse me. So clearly that's a thing, right? But now Miller he was landing that inside leg kick over and over again. I think he was hurting Malata with it. And he did this like lunging in right hook that just put Malata out. Jim Miller won by KO. It's crazy to see Jim Miller knocking people out still. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Jim Miller's been around forever. I want to say that one of my very first UFC events I ever watched, Jim Miller was like one of the big guys, like a co-main event or something like this, right? Because it was like, it was years ago. But like Jim Miller is still there. Like he's just, I think the problem with Jim Miller is he falls into that category where he's not as good as the top guys, but he's better than everyone else. And so, like, what do? He wants to fight. He continues to beat anyone you put him against that he's, that's below him. And when you put him against people above him, it kind of goes the way you expect. And so he's just kind of become a gatekeeper, so to speak, for these newer guys. That's what it is. You had Alain Francis Bodat versus Parker Porter, which every time I hear that name, Parker Porter, I'm expecting him to be like a pretty brunette white bitch from New York. I shouldn't say bitch. A pretty brunette white woman from New York who talks too fast and has her own sitcom on NBC or ABC and has a friend who has a very similar name but different name who talks the same way and they argue a lot. I don't know. Every time I hear Parker Porter, I'm just like, Parker Porter, oh my God. Parker Porter, New Girls in the City. Something like that. On the contrary, Parker Porter's a big, scary, biker-looking dude, tatted all up, fucking long mustache. He's scary-looking, but it's just his name, Parker Porter. Every time I hear it, I think he's going to be a cute New York in the city, taking care of herself, girl. Anyways, Parker Porter and Alain Boudat, they were throwing fucking leather. Boudat's like a Frenchie, but he was a tough Frenchie. But Parker Porter knew, Bordeaux was controlling the distance. He was jumping around, looking kind of like Gaines a little bit. I think they were fighting. I think they're heavyweights. Parker Porter realized it very quickly. Anytime Bordeaux would get anything going, Parker would get into the clinch, go for the takedown. He eventually started getting those takedowns. Every time Bordeaux would get a little bit going, it didn't matter. In the third round, it looked like Parker Porter was a little bit winded, so Bordeaux was able to get more off. Parker Porter eventually gets him down anyway. It does not matter. One thing about Parker Porter, though, he was coughing the whole fight. And I think in 2022, the only thing scarier than a heavyweight punching you is a heavyweight coughing right in your face, right? And he was coughing. And there was one time where he coughed right in the ring man's face. Like the corner man just, he said, my bad, boss. And he was like, it's all right. Part of the job. But it was like, maybe you should cover your mouth a little bit, Parker. Maybe not in the fight, but in the corner, cover your fucking mouth. You COVID-infested cougher. I'm just kidding. Clearly he was testing his shit or he wouldn't have been there. Parker Porter won by decision. It wasn't even close, to be quite frank. He just dominated him in MMA. Not in kickboxing, but in MMA. For the co-main event, we had Kyle Dawkins versus Jamie Pickett. I like this Jamie Pickett kid, but I always feel like he's never as good as he should be. Kyle Dawkins, on the other hand, is always as good as he should be. This is a catchweight fight, if I'm not mistaken, at 195 pounds, which was weird because they're both middleweights, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, Kyle Dawkins, fucking literally with 1 second left in the round, gets the sub. He had like the St. Preux choke, I think it was. I'm not sure exactly what choke it was. It was a kind of a weird one where he just kind of had them and they were bent over each other. But I should go look that up, but I'm not going to. I'm too far into this. But yeah, Kyle Dawkins gets the sub. 1 second left. Pickett could have just waited 1 second, but he was like, those Dawkins brothers don't play, right? Them Dawkins brothers don't play. And then for the main event, we had Jamal Hill versus Johnny Walker. As always, Johnny Walker is entertaining. He's always going to be fun. Jamal Hill comes out like, I'm a world ender, looking like a fucking nerd who's going to lose. But he don't, and he not. He just look like that. But he not. That motherfucker's a killer. The fight came out. Johnny Walker looked so fucking big when they were grappling. He looked so big. Didn't matter. They got away from each other. Jamal Hill, and they hit each other. Just Jamal Hill had some NyQuil in his glove, and Johnny Walker had a fist in his glove. So when they hit each other, Johnny Walker was out. Like he was out. Like his body was still trying to fight. He was like, whoa. It was cartoonish. Whoa. Fell straight back. Hill hit him with another left. I believe it was another left. Walker, if he wasn't asleep from the blow, he was asleep from that next hit on the ground. He hit him. I feel like that's the only way you really gonna beat Johnny Walker. You either gonna knock him out or he's gonna knock you out. If you go to decision, good luck, because he's doing the more outrageous shit that's gonna catch the judges' eyes, and it don't seem like the judges are rating on any kind of scale or anything. They're just, I like this guy. He wins on my cards. I don't know what the fuck's going on with the judging in the UFC. But anyways, I like that Jamal Hill didn't let it go to the judges. Took him right out. Jamal Hill had this crazy hematoma fucking swelling on his arm from blocking head kicks. Ugh. That Johnny Walker dude is scary. He's so fucking big. None of that mattered. Jamal Hill is ready. He ready. Anyways, I think that's it for this breakdown. Y'all seen it. It was UFC Fight Night. Hill versus Walker. Hill with the win by KO. And I mean emphatic KO. Johnny Walker's, oh, whoa! I'm not even making fun of him. That's literally how, go watch the knockout. Pow! Whoa! Like Johnny Walker couldn't believe it. His body was like, no, we're not getting, are we falling? Did he hit us again? Anyways, you made it this far. I fucking love you. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, follow, hit that bell and shit. Do whatever you got to do. Thanks for listening. It's just my opinions and thoughts on the fight night. I'm just giving it to you the way I see it. It's my opinion. If you don't like it,